Safe to Serve family. What is trending? Data centers are being erected by the thousands, not only around the world, especially here in America. And by God's grace today, I'm going to confirm that these data centers to run artificial intelligence, they are laying the foundation for the mark of the beast system. Mark my words, these are current events fulfilling end-time prophecies. And those same tyrants are now proclaiming publicly that the plan is to rewire the global economy. And today I'm going to confirm the rewiring of the global economy, as they say, to get ready for the economy that is coming, is for the sole purpose of slavery. And that is a fulfillment of end-time prophecies. The same tyrants are telling us their deadline is 2030. And today I'm going to say to you, get ready, remain ready, get others ready for the 2030 deadline. Beloved, I want to welcome you all to this midday power surge. The shutting of the gate is about to take place. And today, after this midday power surge, my day is going to feel much better. Do you know why? Because I was able to spend time with you. We were able to spend time together throughout this midday power surge today. The delay was caused due to our great preparation for our upcoming mission to Jamaica. Yes, June 6th, our Present Truth Sabbath Convocation. My friends, invite a friend. It is going to be a life-changing experience for the better. Beloved, I want to get right into this. When you understand the end goal based on end-time prophecies, you'll better understand the current events. Now, based on scripture, the end goal is slavery. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 through verse 17. Revelation chapter 18, verse 13. The end goal is slavery. And the tyrants have their deadline. The WEF, Klaus Schwab. Yes, Larry Fink. Welcome to 2030. You'll be a happy slave. You'll have no privacy. You'll own nothing, not even a car, not even a house. You won't own appliances. You won't own clothes. Everything is based on a subscription model. Imagine that. Welcome to 2030. That is their deadline. You'll own nothing. You'll be a happy, smiling slave. The UN has the same deadline. Agenda 2030. 7 years from 2023, the article says, to our deadline 2030. And if you look carefully, goal number one is to make sure they have a digital-only society. A what, friends? All right. And what is that deadline? 2030. And what is today's year? 2026. How many more years are left? Do you realize all these great events are converging at the same point in history? Just as 27 AD, 31 AD, at 2,000 years, those two dates, time period of 4,000 years? Well, it brings us to 2027, 2031, the time period for the close of probation, the second coming of Jesus Christ. We must get ready today. All right. Look carefully here, friends. Even the Pope is telling us 2030 is that deadline. Look carefully. It's called ecological conversion 2030. Do you see it, friends? In bold print? All right. And the ecological conversion 2030, it is connected to no buy, no sale. It's connected to Sunday worship by law. 2030. We're in that time period. All right. Notice carefully, friends, to combat climate change, to care for nature, to care for the poor. In Laudato Si, it is Sunday worship by law. To combat calamities, to care for nature, and to care for the poor. With that in mind, I want to bring your attention here. How are they going to prepare the world to receive the mark of the beast? Well, my friends, they must first lay a system of foundation. Those who are alive with me, what must they first lay? Come on, family. What must they first put down? A firm foundation. The octopus is here to illustrate that. MOB, mother of the beast, that's the papacy, the octopus. She has 8 tentacles. And today I want to focus on monitoring of the beast, data centers, AI, monitoring of the beast, MOB. I also want to focus on money of the beast. Oh, yes. Next tentacle, merchants of the beast, the moneyed men of the beast, MOB. All right, friends. And it's all leading to having the mind of the beast, then the mark of the beast. They must first lay a foundation, just as you see on the back of your $1 bill. In order for the all-seeing eye, the apex, yes, it to have and to become a reality, they must first lay a foundation. That's it. And the foundation is being laid, and then comes the apex. With that in mind, here is what is coming. Do you realize those 3 things circling on the left of the screen include digital ID, a digital-only payment society? How will those 2 things work? You must have a massive data infrastructure that is only digital. And once you have that, the other 2 can now become a reality, beginning in America, then it goes globally. That is the current event right now. Watch carefully. This just came off the press a few moments ago. Blackstone, it's all there, friends. Data centers, that's trending. Cleveland, Ohio, it's trending. Even in Utah. Watch carefully here. Listen.
In tonight's primetime focus, the rise of AI data centers. Have you guys noticed that these data centers just seem to be going up everywhere?
Residents urging their local lawmakers to go against a proposed plan to bring an AI data center to...
Data centers have been a hotly debated topic now for a while. Or a new AI data center. AI data center.
The AI data center.
AI data center.
AI data center.
Something we've been talking a lot about on the news lately are these AI data centers that have been popping up all over our area.
Whoa.
AI data centers are basically large warehouse-sized buildings that have been popping up all over the country. As of March of last year, there were more than 5,000 in the U.S.
And as Elder Buchanan just said, pause me right in my speech, we covered during the Make It Plain podcast, when these tyrants were purchasing all these farmlands, not for farming, not only for agriculture like Mr. Floodgates, but it's to build these data centers to run the AI infrastructure, AI system, which will form the foundation for the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the beast system that they are now rolling out. Now, friends, as we proceed, I'm going to lay several layers on this theme. Number 1, the negative effects and impacts of these data centers. Watch carefully. Think about energy. Think about electricity and the lack thereof. Think about water and the lack of water, and even pollution in the water, pollution in the air. Now, as I roll this clip, those who are live in the comment section, tell me if you see hypocrisy here. Hypocrisy. I'll give you a hint. Climate change.
This is our cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes.
Just the well itself is probably 20,000, and that's not counting any of the
All
faucets.
the replacement of the fixtures and faucets
just
and
the way-
toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. Facilities like this are being used to power things like ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life.
Data centers, going to be a very hot item.
This entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
We see data centers as the most exciting asset class.
Meta is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large it would cover a significant part of Manhattan.
But data centers come with big costs. From light and noise pollution to the environmental impacts to the potential rising costs of energy bills, these facilities put extraordinary demand on the power grid.
Did I just hear him say Georgia? Google Mansfield, Georgia in relation to, you have a phone, in connection to the actual Atlanta area. Let's see how close this area is. And I also see something else, how they're using up the rural district. And very, very soon, God's people who should have moved out when God opened that door, but you delayed and lingered like Lot, procrastinated, a time is going to come you won't be able to get out. And that's why we have come to Midday Power Surge, to remind you again of the 5 keys of survival. Let me come to my comment section here. Do you see the actual hypocrisy here? Were they not the ones talking about, oh, let's combat climate change, air pollution, let's take care of the water? And yet, they have no qualms. There's no issue to erect these data centers, to run their AI infrastructure. Do you know why they will not relent on this movement? It's because they know the few tyrants. They know the end goal is to control society, surveil every single person, and be able to enslave the masses. Roll out abusive, intrusive, draconian policies, and then force people to comply or be cut off from society. They know it. They don't care about climate change. Come on now. What now? 1 hour? 1 hour south or north or east or west? So it's 1 hour south of Atlanta. That must tell you something. All right. Let's come back here. Notice what they're now saying. Nearly 50,000. Let's leave Georgia alone for now. Not only in Georgia, nearly 50,000 Lake Tahoe residents have to find a new power source. I wonder why. Because their energy source looks to redirect lines to data centers. May 12, 2026. America's data centers are thirsty. Rural towns are paying the price, from tanked water pressure to stolen desert ground water. There it is, friends. And people are saying the owners and the merchants of these data centers, last sentence, they act as if we don't exist. They don't care about us. Beloved, let me give a qualification. The majority of the merchants don't see the trajectory and the end goal. They don't see it. The majority of these financiers, money men, affluent people, they only see another medium to make a buck. And many are into legacy play. For some, it's not about the money. It's about legacy. But there is a few, the few barbarians, yes, they're the ones who understand the end goal. The end goal is slavery. Watch carefully here, my friends. The protests are going on against the erection, establishment of these data centers. Watch carefully. Clip 1.
Concern and outrage in Utah.
For hell's sakes, grow up.
Where hundreds of protesters this week flooded this meeting of Box Elder County Commissioners.
Can you be quiet and let our citizens hear what needs to be said, please?
As they voted to move forward with a controversial data center proposal backed by celebrity Canadian businessman Kevin O'Leary. The Stratus Project is a plan to build a 40,000-acre development near Utah's Great Salt Lake, boosted by government tax incentives, and according to a county fact sheet, is eventually expected to generate and consume up to 9 gigawatts of power once completed, a number MIDA, the state entity backing the project, says is more than double Utah's average energy consumption.
Imagine that. I thought we were on the path to combat climate change and to lower carbon emission. You wait until I get to something else. Watch carefully. Clip 2.
Data centers of the old have a bad reputation. They gobble up a lot of water. They use up your power. And then when they're all built, they don't employ many people. This is not that. Power's usage is completely self-contained.
The project's potential environmental impact sparking much of the outrage.
And we're losing land, we're losing water, and we're losing air quality.
This has the footprint in the valley of 2,000 Walmart supercenters. That's the physical footprint. If you want the energy footprint, it's 40,000 Walmart supercenters in this one small valley.
As plans for other large data centers proposed across the country have led to heated debate.
So Illinois, Utah, Georgia, California, you name it. Beloved, notice carefully here several things. So those who are depending on the government source utilities such as electricity and water, do you realize you're in danger? That's number one. So what is God saying to us? Move out of these cities when he opens that door. Some people will go before others. Others come thereafter. All you need to do is to make sure you implement the first key. Mentally, spiritually, you are ready. You are observing. So when God providentially opens that door, you pack your bags, you go. Number two, realize this. This is a massive undertaking. Swaths of land are being consumed. For what purpose? Why are they erecting these data centers all over America? They're laying the foundation for the mark of the beast system. Number three, in that second clip, the man said in that conference with civil leaders, in that hearing, he said, they build these massive data centers and they don't employ many people. They only employ the people to build them. And once they are built, they are self-contained. It's AI. That means a loss of jobs, loss of employment, layoff. So what is coming next? Stop right there. Later on, you'll see what comes next. I'm going to ask my family if they know what comes next. When there is mass unemployment, how will they take care of the quote-unquote useless eaters? And that quote are not my words. That clip will be played shortly. What would they roll out? Okay, you want to get warmed up, family? Okay, it's UBI. I'll get to that. Notice, on the screen, it says carefully, the data centers create continuous air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. And they are just one in Utah. It is twice, maybe 3 times the size of Manhattan. Manhattan, New York. One data center is what? 30 Walmart. How much? 40,000 Walmarts put together. Imagine that. And you know some of you can't even walk twice around Walmart. 40,000 on the screen right here. Data centers contribute to global warming. You know, I'm going to do my research. Look at the second bullet point. No, the third one. These data centers are like heat islands. They raise local temperatures by up to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Now stop right there. That means now it's summertime coming up, right? How many degrees do we get Fahrenheit during summertime? Let's say on average 90 degrees, right? Average. Imagine 106 on average. 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, do you not realize we have to pray to make sure when we move out in the country, we don't move to a place where tomorrow they build the next data center next door you? Okay, come back here. Water usage under threat. Pollution is in the air. You may pause the video and read that. Look at the second bullet point. About 56% of the electricity to run these data centers in America comes from fossil fuels. Wait a minute. I thought we were to combat climate change and get rid of fossil fuel. It's all hypocrisy. It's a game they're playing. So when one prong, one tentacle is not as effective, they switch to the next because the end goal is slavery. And the data centers to run the AI, it's all about enslaving, surveilling, controlling the masses. I hope that's clear, my family. Watch carefully now. Let's get to Tucker Carlson. There it is. Let's combat climate. Nonsense about combat climate change. 40%, this is a 40,000 acre AI data center project. It's called Stratus Project, backed by Kevin O'Leary. Was he not on the thing called Shark Tank? Yeah, Shark Tank guy. All right. Here is, by the way, this video clip was released on yesterday. Tucker Carlson interviewed Kevin O'Leary. Beloved, if you can spare about 20 minutes of your day, go to minute marker 1 hour, and watch the next 57 minutes of it, all right? And put the video on speed play, maybe 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and cover the ground very quickly. Tucker Carlson took that man to task. Watch that video, please, if you can. You'll see how he actually exposed the whole circus. It's all about control. And they want to overthrow China, beat China in the AI race. Watch carefully. But by America trying to outdo China in the AI race, America is becoming like China in the area of barbarism, draconianism, and tyranny. You can't make this up. Let us outdo China. And yet they are implementing the same China system that the Panda Nation uses to enslave its own population. Wake up. The same system is coming to America. And that's why I wonder sometimes if the pandemic from March 11, 2020, that they blamed the pestilence came from China, if it was simply to awaken us. The system of slavery in China is coming to America. The mark of the beast system, then come to mark of the beast, and then it goes globally. Carlson, Tucker.
In the outcry over a proposed data center in Utah, in a fairly sparsely populated, pretty remote county in Utah, most of which is sparsely populated, in which will be built what's being billed as the largest data center in the world.
Mercy.
Enormous. 40,000 acres. 40,000 acres. 62 square miles, multiples the size of Manhattan.
Mercy.
Huge, impossible to imagine. And that data center, which is basically a series of interconnected, low-slung, vinyl-clad warehouses in which sit not people making things, but computers computing things. That data center, once completed, will draw about 9 gigawatts of power. How much is a gigawatt? Well, it's a billion watts. It's one step from a terawatt, which is a trillion watts. 9 gigawatts. Now, how much is 9 gigawatts?
Enough.
Well, 9.
Unless you're into science, that doesn't mean anything to you right now. Let us break that down for the common person, okay? Notice what I want you to take away from this. This is going to be the largest data center in the entire world being built in Utah. The entire world. Why? I'm going to share it with you. It's the mark of the beast system. The entire world. That is Kevin O'Leary. But there's something bigger than that going on. I wonder if my family remember. Several months ago, there was another project that is going to be the largest in the world. Does anyone remember what that was? Trump announced it. And there were 3 companies pushing it. Who remembers in the comment section? Who remembers what that was? Oh, let me scroll down. Pardon me, family. Who remembers what that was? Anybody remember? Okay. Oracle. Okay. You're on the right path. $500 billion. Okay. Terrence. Okay. Oscar. Who else? Okay. Leon. This was it. SoftBank. Oracle. OpenAI. This is the largest AI infrastructure globally here in America. Do you see the connection here? Watch carefully.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly.
Beloved, one quick insert. America does not need to spend $500 billion and countless billions to build these 2 systems. The largest data center in Utah and the largest AI infrastructure globally to only monitor Americans. You don't need that. Again, to only monitor Americans. If I'm making sense, tell me in the comment section. So whatever they're building is to monitor the whole world. Because based on end-time prophecy, America is that sole superpower. In America, the mark of the beast begins. That means America must control the mark of the beast's fingers, the mark of the beast's tentacles, the mark of the beast system. And the mark of the beast is all about false worship. And let us surveil to see who are compliant and who are non-compliant, not only in America, but globally. When you understand it must be a global one world government, a global monitoring system, then it makes sense to build a $500 billion AI infrastructure and the largest globally data center. Now it makes sense. Without prophecy, it makes no sense whatsoever. Watch carefully. Listen.
Larry, why on this day one do you think you decided to do this? I assume you've been working on it for a long time. We have been working on it for a long time. The first data centers are actually under construction in Texas already, and we'll be turning them over to Sam to start training their next model. The data center we already built, it was the largest computer ever built. The data center we're building will surpass it and be the largest computer ever built, which enables this AI, which will allow personalized medicine.
And of course, they have to give you some benefit. They always mix good with evil, wholesome food with poison. Clip 2.
This is a very large investment that affects all of humanity.
Oh yes, it will, when the mark of the beast is enforced. Okay, beloved, let us do some deep dive right now. For the common person and the person in the back of the room, the classroom, those who are just gaining knowledge of this, what are data centers? Beloved, I'm going to read this paragraph for you. Take one thing away from it, and that is, data centers are the backbone of the internet. That's it. On the screen, preacher. You may pause the video and read that. Take one thing away from this. Data centers are the backbone of the internet and cloud computing. That's it. Okay. The second point I'm going to share with you now. Data centers, watch carefully, are the foundation for the digital-only society. Look at the screen. There it is. Data centers are the foundational infrastructure of the digital society. Do you see it, friends? Look at the last phrase in the top paragraph. It will enable the tyrants to monitor, to surveil modern digital life, which includes online banking, streaming, remote work, etc., etc. And what is the mark of the beast all about? It's worship, and you can't buy, you cannot sell, you cannot bank, you cannot travel. There's no livelihood if you're non-compliant to the mark of the beast itself. None. That's why they're spending billions, trillion dollars in order to build this system. So while we profess SDAs in our community, while the majority of SDA are singing, swinging, and sinning, the mark of the beast system is being laid and being rolled out. And that's why many of our people are going to be caught off guard. Watch carefully. On the screen, preacher. I want them all to see the tentacles one more time. Okay, beloved, understand this, that these data centers are being erected not slowly. No, this one says it's happening at record pace. Before I share this with you, what are we told in volume 9, page 11? About the final movements? What are we told? If you recall and remember, put it in the comment section. On the screen, preacher, here it is. Data centers are being built at a record pace, brothers and sisters, record pace. Yeah. To fuel the explosive growth of artificial intelligence. Come back here now. I want to speak to my family. Okay, thank you. Rapid ones. Thank you for the comment. So you all remembered it. The last day movements are going to be rapid ones. The data centers right now are being built for the mark of the beast. Who do you think America is using as the reason why they are building the AI data centers? Come on, what nation? Come on, talk to me. What excuse are they using? Come on, talk to me. Which nation are they saying they are a threat to us? As a result, we must build a digital-only society. What is that nation? Look at the comment section. China. Is as if the Cold War is being repeated. The Cold War, America and the Soviet Union. The Cold War, America, communism. The Cold War, America with the Vatican. against communism. You see, friends, communism is left for a purpose as the boogeyman. That's it. So we despise communism because the mark of the beast cannot be enforced in a communist country. But the mark of the beast proponents, of course, they love and they will imitate the slavery system of China, of communism. Watch carefully. Data centers are primarily promoted by hyperscalers such as Amazon, mercy, Microsoft, Google, Meta, and Oracle. You have 5 fingers, don't forget those 5. You have 5 fingers on one hand, don't forget those 5. These are the merchants of the beast. Don't forget them. And they're being supported financially by BlackRock and Blackstone and others. Don't forget that, friends. Watch carefully here. Yes, the US and China are engaged in an intense strategic competition for data center dominance to lead in artificial intelligence and, don't forget this, and the digital society. Stop right there. Those who are live with me, China has the AI systems, yes, the data centers, and the digital-only society. Question, are the people in China free, or are they paupers to the government, slaves to the government? Are they? On the screen, they're slaves. Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street Journal tells us, while China has AI and data centers, the population is not free in the Western sense of liberty or privacy. That's a bullseye, a nail in the show place. So since America is modeling what China is doing with AI and the data centers, what comes with it? A lack of privacy. What comes with it? A lack of liberty. Watch carefully. Do you remember this? From the deputy IMF chief? Let him tell you about China's slavery.
One example in China, because I personally experienced it, right? Those transaction data can be utilized by service providers in credit underwriting, in the sense that, those transaction data in terms of how many coffee I drink every day, where I buy coffee, do I use Uber every day, and what kind of working hours I have. Those non-traditional data can be very useful for financial service providers to give me a credit score.
Yes.
And based on that credit score, the financial service provider gives
Amen. Not only what your working hours are, because if a man works, what must he also do thereafter? Talk to me. If a man works, what must he also do afterward? Give it to me in the comment section. Come on. Come on, talk to me. What must he also do? Of course. Shantavia said play. Come on, Shantavia. Play? Come on, Anton, not sleep. Rest. And rest is linked to Sunday rest, Sunday worship by law. How are they going to monitor, surveil compliance, non-compliance? That's why they are rolling out these data centers, AI infrastructure, to govern the world.
For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized. For example, for food.
All right. And beloved, listen what the Oracle head CEO said, Larry Ellison. Remember, Larry Ellison said citizens will have to be on their best behavior So again, the point is, why are they building the world's largest data center to run AI? Why? Larry Ellison, $500 billion for the world's largest AI infrastructure to monitor compliance and non-compliance. It's right there. We will track your every move. Again, if it was only for America, they wouldn't need such a massive infrastructure. Beloved, one more time, it is to surveil the whole world. And notice, once America does that, remember, America is the front man for the Vatican. You're not hearing me, my friends. Did the Vatican control the whole world? Yes. Did the papacy control nations, surveil, and monitor nations? Did the papacy have what was called the Inquisition Board? Yes. So all she has to do is to use her image to do the dirty work. That's America. That's it. And then once America can surveil the whole world, the papacy gains control of the whole world again. Larry Ellison.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them.
You see, every area of your life is going to be surveilled. That's why they're building this massive infrastructure. Everything. Your smart home, everything.
By the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way, the way you turn it on you can't turn it on. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off. The truth is, we don't really turn it off. What we do is we record it so no one can see it, but no one can get into that recording without a court order.
I heard someone say, oh yeah, if I can take a bathroom break in privacy, when I go to the bathroom and I do number 2, I'll put the camera over the toilet. Record this. And at some point, they'll stop recording. Watch carefully here, friends. Notice what this says. Do you know where President Trump is right now? The media says Trump has gone to see a world leader. Is anybody watching the news report? Did it come across your feed? Where is Trump right now, friends? Where is Trump? Because I'm going to connect what is forthcoming with what Oracle's boss, Larry Ellison, just said and what he's building. Where is he? Okay. All right. Okay. Anointed. Yes. He's in China. Who does the media say is with Trump in China? Look at the screen. Oracle's leaders. Oracle's Safra Catz is with other CEOs, Meta, Nvidia, and Apple, with Trump in China. So why would Larry Ellison's advocate and ambassador, right, go with Trump to China? It's the system of China, slavery, they are bringing back to America. It's on the screen. Who are the US CEOs in China with Trump? What's in it for them? Who is there? Tesla boss, Elon Musk. Apple boss is there. You see it? Nvidia, they're all over there. And this is what the scriptures, who now? Blackstone CEO is there. This is what chapter 18 of the Revelation is talking about. In verse 2 and verse 3, Babylon is in bed with the prince, the princes, rulers, and the merchants. And what is the end goal? Verse 13, slavery. All right, friends. And who said China is the model?
I respect China's achievements, which are tremendous over the last over 40 years. I think it's a role model for many countries.
Yeah, China is a model. The Pope also said, papists also say that China is the model, the best implementer of the common good. And the common good, give up your rights for globalism. That is common good. Give up your property. That is common good. And by the way, as I went to property, there is a video that has been trending right now. There is a Georgia homeowner who went public on a recording stating that they are about to build an AI data center by her house. And they are using eminent domain to take away her property. And that clip has gone viral here in Georgia. The homeowner resides. And the paper says, we don't care about your property. You don't have privacy, ownership. Absolutely. It is not untouchable. We can take your property. That's it right there. And popery has been the backbone of slavery. Let's move on here. Also, Larry Fink from BlackRock. He's also there. Look carefully. Red words underlined. Other big names who are with Trump in China includes BlackRock chairman and CEO Larry Fink. Pause. Before I roll Larry Fink's statement. Does anyone recall what Larry Fink is on record saying as it relates to slavery? Does anyone recall what Larry Fink said a few months back regarding slavery? Anyone? Okay, watch carefully here. Larry Fink says, listen, we are going to make sure that we force the behavior of people. Are those words not similar to Larry Ellison's statement? Watch carefully here. Larry Fink, BlackRock, and he's now over the WEF.
Put it up a bunch of questions, but you now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors.
Do you see it? We're going to force behavior, and these are the men overseeing the WEF, the men with Trump in China, overseeing data centers and AI infrastructure. Why? Because they're laying the foundation for the mark of the beast system. On the screen, here is Larry Fink again.
United States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these
and listen how he mentions the data centers. Data centers in connection with, we are going to force people to behave, to comply with our policies. Beloved, how wealthy is BlackRock? Because maybe this is going over people's head. How can he and his company force behavior? Well, how wealthy is BlackRock? How influential is BlackRock? They are so wealthy and influential, the media calls BlackRock and Vanguard the fourth arm of government. The fourth arm of government. They have more money and they have more influence than governments combined, than nations combined. These are the merchants of the beast, and they are rich because of Babylon, the papacy. Chapter 18, verse 2 and verse 3 of Revelation. Hear what he says now. Data centers, force behavior.
United States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these 1 gigawatt data centers, how do we make sure we're not protecting those $50 billion, $75 billion investments?
That's it. Notice now.
It's going to require, as we said, trillions of dollars of capital. Governments cannot build these out alone. They don't have the wherewithal. And two, their deficits are starting to be mounting. And we spend too little time talking about the U.S. deficits and other countries' deficits. So this is all going to be the role of private sector.
all in the role of private sector. He's telling you. He said nations, governments cannot foot the bill. That means BlackRock and their allies, preacher man, and their allies. BlackRock and their allies have more money, more influence than even the American government. Governments combined. Now, this is Bruce Flatt, the CEO of Brookfield Corporation. He's sitting beside Larry Fink, and this man said, everybody, our goal is to rewire the global economy. We are preparing the stage for another economic structure that is coming in. I wonder, what is that other economic structure? It's a digital-only payment society. This is the one with iron teeth that will force compliance. Why? If you don't go along with the flip or the flick of a switch, they can leave you without a penny. Watch carefully. Bruce Flatt.
Really what's happening is that we have been, and we still are, and for the next 10 years we will be, rewiring the global economy to lay the networks that we laid before, which were highways, utilities, railways, and now we're laying cloud, artificial intelligence factories, and data centers. And that, on the fundamental basis, that's what's happening.
That is what's happening. And we'll force behaviors. Next clip, Bruce Flatt. He's sitting on a panel with Larry Fink.
What's happening. So there will be $10 trillion from power, AI, factories, data centers, and fiber build-out laid to basically rewire the world for the new economy that's coming.
Wait a minute now. Who elected, pause, who elected Bruce Flatt as the leader of America, or Jamaica, or Canada, or anywhere in South America, anywhere in Africa, anywhere in Europe, anywhere in Australia, anywhere in Asia? Yet, with unmitigated gall, with arrogance, we are going to rewire the global economy. Okay, y'all missed it. Those who control the economy control the world. That's it. And that's how they can trump any local national laws. Because if you hold the purse string, you can force behaviors. Not only nations, but individuals. Now you see, it's the mark of the beast system. Do you see it now? All right. Next clip. Watch.
And it's been slowly coming. Like it literally, you end up, things happen and you think they're too much, but we're just rewiring the world. And that's probably the most fundamental thing that's going on in the world. It's going to be the most important thing for the next 2 years. So I think the important thing is, don't think that this is it too much hype? Yes, there's always too much hype in some different thing, but we're just rewiring the world, and there's going to be enormous.
How many years? In the next 2 years. They have a deadline. They have a deadline. And the deadline is the year 2030. Only God knows if He will allow them to bring to fruition their draconian policies in the next 2 years or by 2030. We need to get ready. Get ready today, all right? You were warned? Notice now, next clip, how they will control everything in society. You are surveilled.
Today, you can go for a morning run while cameras record your every move and your phone silently surrenders your data. Your everyday transactions generate financial records stored in government-accessible databases. Your calls, texts, and emails can be searched by intelligence agencies without a warrant. In 8 months, your own car can stop you because it wrongly suspects you're impaired.
Beloved, that's clear. That doesn't need commentary. Going cashless, what would be the end goal? With the flick of a switch, they can leave you without a penny. That's why they are rewiring the global economy. It's clear now. To fulfill chapter 13 of the Revelation, verse 15 to verse 17, you won't be able to buy or sell except you go along with the mark of the beast and the mark of the beast policies. That's it right there. And those three things circling on the left have come full circle. They have to have the data centers in order to run and operate the digital-only payment society and the digital ID. Stop right here. And what was that deadline? 2030. But remember, there was something called 50 in 5. That was for Europe. But for the whole world, it's by 2030. And that's why America is doing its part. Pause. Did President Trump jump on this bandwagon? Did President Trump roll out any executive order to now put America on the same trajectory to have a digital-only society? If you recall, give me the date when Trump took that official step. What date was that? Let me scroll down. What date was that? Does anyone recall? Come on, Safe to Serve. Don't let me down. What date was that? All right. August, you're close. You're close. You're close. September. September. It's on the screen. And you won't be able to access any of these resources. None of it. Beloved, here is King Charles. Do you know what King Charles said a few days ago? Do you know what King Charles said a few days ago? Pastor, what's the big deal? It's an old man. Is that so? Once I roll the clip, I want you all to think, over what countries does King Charles have sway? Over what countries does King Charles have influence? And whatever he says will also be implemented directly and indirectly in said countries. If you don't see that, what I'm about to play doesn't have a great impact. So talk to me in the comment section. Watch carefully. King Charles, digital ID. Listen. Minister of the Beast, MOB.
My ministers will also proceed.
My who? My ministers.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
So without the digital ID, you won't be able to interact with one everybody. Public services. Quickly. It's on the screen right now. You can access these things without being a part of Babylon system when it grows teeth and it's linked to the mark of the beast. Look carefully now. Listen again.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Did you all catch the word modernize? It's the new society. It's the new economy. Look at the screen now. Give it to me, big and bold, preacher. As of May 2026, King Charles III is the monarch and head of state of 15 independent nations, known as Commonwealth realms. Beloved, look carefully at number 8. That's where I'm going, June 6. Look at number 8. That's Jamaica. And that's why you have the Prime Minister also pushing, also rolling out the digital-only society, the ID and the payment system and the data centers. And if Jamaica can't afford, listen to me now, if Jamaica can't afford its own data centers to run AI, never mind America. You see it now? America. Do you see it now? America's data centers will run the AI structure, will run the economy, will run the day-to-day operations of Jamaica. That's why they're building the largest data center in Utah. That's why $500 billion for the largest globally AI infrastructure. So small nations whose GDP is little to nothing, small islands, small countries who can't afford their own system, data centers, never mind, we will take care of that for you. If that's clear, give me a nail in the show place in the comment section. We don't play games here. Back on the screen, preacher. The 15 nations. At the very bottom it says, he's also head of the Commonwealth, an association of 56 member states. So whatever the UK is rolling out, King Charles, you know he has influence directly and indirectly in the various nations. It's on the screen now, September 30, 2025. President Trump took the first step officially to roll out digital wallets. And what do you put in those? A digital payment system. It's all underlined. The wallets, let's go back. The wallets, it's right there. And the payment system. Not my words, March 25th. It's all there, friends. The system is now being put in place. And that's why I'm going to say to you, Catherine Fitz, we're being surrounded. Their deadline is 2030. The gate is almost shut. And if you're planning to leave spiritually and physically, do so before it's too late. Catherine Fitz.
And the reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate.
The last what? Shutting of the gate. Watch carefully. Just as Luke 21, verse 20 through verse 23, when you see that you're being surrounded, leave the cities and flee to the mountains. Why? Days of vengeance are coming. And God's vengeance, wrath, 7 last plagues. Before that, mark of the beast. Are we being surrounded? Catherine Fitz.
I think it's very hard for people who've grown up and enjoyed Western liberty and human liberty to imagine literally that we're going into a system where literally our homes, our cars, our communities become digital concentration camps.
We are here. At this juncture, let's address the UBI angle, layer upon layer, universal basic income. Those who are live with me, what's going to happen when they begin to roll out AI infrastructures? What's going to happen to people's jobs, people's businesses, employment in America and globally? Come on, talk to me. Of course, to the little flock, there's going to be mass unemployment. So how would they solve that? On the screen, UBI. Okay, as I roll these slides, talk to me. Do you think the UBI setup is slavery? It makes you government dependent. It makes you a government pauper. If you believe that, put in the comment yes. If you don't believe that, don't comment. Amen. On the screen, preacher. Big and bold. There it is. Will the UBI save us from AI? It's all there. It's all there. It's coming. Even in America, they're testing out UBI in several cities in America. Cities. Because they know it's coming. No jobs. More than 18 states in America. You see it now? UBI is being rolled out. How do we solve this? 45 million. Hey, preacher man, how many jobs are in America? Just Google that. Jobs in America. Jobs in America. 45 million US jobs at risk. At risk. 45 million. So I wonder how many jobs are in America? How many? How many? As you are searching, job disruption is coming. Shift in automation is coming. It's coming. It's here. Here is Elon Musk.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
See, across the globe. Beloved, this is the dream of the devil. This is the dream. This is a dream come true for the Vatican. If you can control every single person on the globe, they must depend on you to get a livelihood. You control them. And Satan thinks he has a world he can control. In contrast to Jesus being the God of this world, in that sense. It's clear. Dream come true, preacher man. 162 million people employed right now, and 48 million at risk in the first few months once AI is rolled out. 160? Let's say 50 million, right? And let's say 50. That's 1/3, mercy. 1/3 in the first few months, one in every 3 jobs gone.
And I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen.
Cut the chase, because some of you have seen this before.
I think I think we'll just end up doing universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning?
Mercy.
Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment.
Mercy.
So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you? What's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
And that is at the heart of the matter. That's it right there. That is what goes against the Bible, because God gave to man work before sin even entered the world. Till the Garden Adam, before sin, what will happen? Watch carefully.
Country.
Listen.
Yes, in the Industrial Revolution, we saw the creation of a new class of the urban proletariat, and much of the political and social history of the last 200 years involved what to do with this class and the new problems and opportunities. Now, we see the creation of a new massive class of useless people. As computers become better and better in more and more fields,
Cut. So how do you take care of these useless people? Because UBI, you're getting paid, but you have no sense, no purpose in life. Give them drugs and video games.
Do
you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. But this...
Beloved, now I'm going to nail it. Do you know? Let me set this up. Talk to me in the comment section. What was making its way in Congress in 1888 in America? What law was coming to America? It was a Sunday law in 1888. Pastor, what's the connection here? We are just addressing UBI, right? Universal Basic Income. Do you know Alonzo T. Jones, A.T. Jones wrote that connected with the Sunder Law by Henry Blair, the senator, was also a universal basic income. You can't make this up. On the screen, watch carefully. Cut that. Too much of it. Hold on, preacher. Hold on. Here he is. A.T. Jones. There it is, friends. That was a national basic income. That's it. Pause the video. Read it, my friends. That's it. Why not? You're paying a man for not working. You're paying a person for not working. It is connected to Senator Blair Sunday bill. That's it, friends. Sunday bill. And that's what I'm telling you. Let us connect the dots. We must study from cause to effect. Let's go. What has led to the UBI coming? UBI? AI data centers. Do you see it now? AI, infrastructure, data centers. Then comes basic income. Do you see it? It's linked to what now? Slavery and pauperism. Easily, you can enforce a Sunder Law. Easily. It's a dream come true. And now quickly, look who is behind the UBI. On the screen. Even the Pope is pushing universal basic income. The Pope is pushing UBI. It's very clear. It's a dream come true for the papacy. All right, friends. Let me wrap this up here. On the screen, preacher. They can see it from A.T. Jones. Sunder Law, the UBI. Slavery. Now, this is Sam Altman, right? With Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison? Yes. And the others pushing the AI infrastructure and also promoting the data centers, right? What Musk, Altman, and others say about AI-funded UBI? Watch this exchange.
Interesting that his other startup is WorldCoin, which is basically a platform to create universal basic income, i.e. a platform to give us income in a world where people don't have jobs anymore. So on one hand, you're creating an AI company, and the other hand, you're creating a company that is preparing for people not to have employment.
Mercy.
It also has other.
Now he will say it leads to control and slavery.
Your control.
Do you think Sam Altman wants to control every part of the universe?
I suspect he might, yes. It doesn't mean he doesn't want a side effect of it being a very beneficial technology which makes all the humans happy. Happy humans are good for control.
Mercy. And what is the deadline for happy humans being controlled? Welcome to 2030. You will own nothing. You have no privacy, and you will be happy. I close with this. On the screen, deadline, 2030. The Pope's deadline, 2030. Ecological conversion, 2030. No buy, no sell on Sunday, 2030. That's their deadline. Get ready, my friends. And how do we get ready? How? Because if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So how do we get ready? On the screen, preacher. The 5 keys of survival. I know Elder Buchanan is smiling over there. That is handiwork. That's his handiwork by God's grace. Implement the 5 keys of survival, my friends. Implement the 5 keys of survival. You know, friends, I want to thank you all. I must cut it here. Tomorrow, we'll pick it up. Do a part 2. I want to thank you all for making the sacrifice to join us today for Midday Power Surge. I was rushing today to cram all of this into one lesson. My day is going to feel better now. We were able to come and have this conversation. Praise the Lord. Go back over these things. Live accordingly. Spend time in prayer and share it with others that they too may be found prepared. I'm going to leave it with a song though. If I don't, I know what time it is. All right, friends. I don't want to hear you. Friends, here's your song.
Let us sing a song that will cheer us by the way. In a little while we're going home, for the night will end in the everlasting day. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, in a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home. There's a rest beyond, there's relief from every care. In a little while we're going home, and no tears shall fall in that city bright and fair. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, in a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while.